Good morning, good morning, good morning. Buenos dias, mi gente yo-yo. Welcome to Daily Discipline number 596, primarily in a row. Hey, my name's Rob Hoback. Happy that you're here. Honored and humbled that you keep coming back. Hey, it's Thursday, right? So that means on Thursdays we talk about how we need to be thankful. We need to be thankful for everything that we have, not the things that we don't have, not the things that we used to have, not the things that the thing. Be thankful for what you got, right? Because it's a Thursday. And that's the best day to be to articulate. You need to be talking out loud every day the things you're thankful for. But if we only get one day out of the week out of you, let's make it a Thursday. It's the same day as Thanksgiving. It's easy to remember. It's also June the 4th, 2020. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, blah, 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 whatever. It's a work day for me. I got to go. First things first, still the realist. You know what else I am? I'm listening. Yeah. Which is tied very closely to our real talk, which is God gave us 2 ears, one mouth for a reason. We should be listening more than we're speaking. What got me thinking about this, yesterday we talked about how not everybody brings the same experience to the table, and talked specifically about Vic Fangio, about how he's just, not the right thing to say. And then yesterday, and then he apologized yesterday. Once everybody's like, yeah, Vic, it's not like that for everybody. Oh yeah, let me turn here. All right, and then unfortunately, Drew Brees, a guy that's like my age, a guy that I look up to. I mean, leadership. He's communally minded. But then, and maybe it was circumstantial, I don't know, but just not a good look for Drew, right? And because he was talking about the flag and protests, and and his grandfather fought in the war, and boy, when he started telling his perspective, which was eloquently stated, and I mean, he made a perfect case about why he feels the way that he does. But what he didn't do is he didn't say, hey, there's a whole bunch of people out here that are hurting, that their grandfather served in the war. And then when they came back with my grandfather, they weren't able to go to eat in the same restaurant, stay in the hotel. They had to drink in it. Like, it was not different. It's not the same for everybody. God gave us 2 ears and one mouth for a reason. We need to listen, right? We need to invite conversation with people who are different from us, that bring a different perspective. Like, tell me what I don't know, right? In a non-confrontational way. Thankfully, 15 years to 18 years ago, this whole process started for me with Precious, right? To where when I think about how he and I started going to lunches all the time when I lived in Chicago, or every time I went back to Chicago, it was because it was his idea, not mine, right? I mean, it was my idea from a work perspective, like, hey, that's my client. I need to stay in front of him, need to have conversation. But then it quickly became, I came to the realization, like, this guy has a piece about him that I can't understand. And the more he tells me about his background, his experience, like, it makes even less sense, right? A person that is that peaceful, that has buried all three of his kids, who has experienced racism in his entire life at a much different, I mean, think about somebody who's almost 80, the crap they've seen in their life. Significantly different than what I enjoyed, one of the things I enjoyed was just listening to him tell his story, give me his perspective. I'll never forget a story he told me that came to my mind this morning. So, story time, Luke. This morning, watching the Creeper, right, and they were talking about Russell Wilson, and I love Russell Wilson, right? Russell Wilson is an excellent quarterback in the NFL. He's a Packer killer, yeah. So I don't like that about him, but just I admire him as a person too, right? Like, he's just always positive, and then the more you learn about him, you're like, man, this guy is something else. And his parents are both highly educated. His great grandfather was a slave. I'm like, well, there it is, right? Like, if you walk through the fire and you survive, which his great grandfather survived slavery, either you let that define you and say, I'm going to be a slave the rest of my life, and blah, blah, blah. Or you can say, you know what? It didn't kill me. It's only going to make me stronger, right? Or you could just sit, right? You can give up, you can wait, or you can do something about it. And so, clearly Russell Wilson's great grandfather did something about it. And it reminded me of a conversation, the same place where I couldn't get waited on with Precious, where he told me about how his father was run out of, I believe it was Mississippi, because he got into a physical altercation with a white guy who was being a jerk to him, right? The white guy didn't like the fact that Precious's dad was succeeding post-slavery. And so the physical altercation, and if I got some of these facts wrong, I'm sorry. This is the basis, right? Is that they got into a physical altercation, Precious's dad and this white guy. And the white guy told him, he's like, bro, I'm coming to your house tonight. I'm going to burn your house down. I'm going to kill your family. You better not be there. His dad came home and said, we got to go. And they're like, what do you mean we got to go? He's like, got in a fight with a guy. I'm sorry. Sorry to put you guys all in the situation. We got to go. They go to Chicago. Leave everything. Everything. So think about that, right? I mean, I don't know this. My assumption was that Precious' dad was born into slavery. So he just survives it, gets out, and then he doesn't get any of the things that are promised to him, right? And as a matter of fact, he doesn't meet this friendly world. He meets a lot of opposition. And so then all this stuff is taken from him. So he has to start all over again in Chicago, and he never, ever gives up. And today they've got this company on the south side of Chicago where they're changing lives. None of that happens without a couple of things. Number one, a good decision, like, look, sometimes you got to fight, sometimes you got to go, right? They got the hell out of there, right? And then when they got to Chicago, they're like, we're not going to stop working. And then they forced their children to be disciplined and to go to church and to join the military and go to school and do all of these things. Again, that doesn't happen without all of that pain. And what the hell, like, as I'm sitting there listening to Precious tell me the story, what am I going to bring to that story? Nothing. Just sit there and listen, take it all in and understand that it's not the same for everybody. It's not the same for Precious as it is for me, just like it's not the same for Drew Brees or Vic Fangio and all of the people of color that have come after them. God gave us 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen. Stop being in such a hurry to tell everybody what you think about somebody. Listen to the people that are hurt. Right? Pretty simple. All right, let's do our thank yous, then we're done for the day. Number one, God is good. God's been good to us in the good times and the bad. Just like that story about the Lusser family. There will be beauty that comes out of this. We just have to get there. And we have to stop thinking that the answer is violence. Violence is never the answer, right? Violence is the same as bullying on a massive scale, right? Thankful for perspective. I'm thankful for my perspective. I'm thankful for the perspective of all the people around me that I often solicit. I love to hear why other people think the way that they do. I'm thankful for a healthy conversation. To me, conversation, fellowship is one of the most beautiful things of being a human. For real. That we can just talk about things. I'm thankful that my kids are back. We had a great day yesterday. It's a joy to have them here. It's a lot of work. They stress me out at times. I wish I was more productive with my day job. It is what it is. And I'm thankful for love. We've talked about this recently. We're going to keep talking about this. Rock beats scissors. Scissors beats paper. Paper beats rock. Love always defeats hate. Light always beats darkness. I mean, and I get it. People get that twisted. It's hard not to get that twisted if you've been treated like shit. I mean, I get all those things, but love will win. We just have to make sure. All right, with that, we're done for today. Hands up. Peace out. We're better together. Appreciate you stopping by on a Thankful Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow on an FF Friday. We'll see you then. Deuces. #Real Talk. Welcome back inside. Enjoy that air conditioning. See ya.